What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we are going to be going over the charts. First, we're going to look at the Dow Jones, then the DXY, big time frame in Bitcoin, and then we'll go down to the smaller time frames. We're also going to take a quick look at Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, gold, and silver. I'm going to zip through all these real quick. I just wanted to get an update. Not a whole lot is happening in Bitcoin right now, but I will show you the areas to watch. All right, so looking at the Dow Jones, we're still showing this hidden bearish divergence in a downtrend on the daily. We could get a spike as high as this 35,871. I've had this red line here for quite a while. Now, if we get above that and get support, then we could get one more big push up for the Dow. But as of right now, it is showing this hidden bearish divergence, which is pretty damn powerful. I'm thinking that we probably come down and retest this area. If this area of the 34.3, 34.4 breaks and becomes resistance, then I still believe we're headed down towards the 30,700. Now, the dollar does look like a bull flag here. If we do break down here, we do have support at the 55 EMA at 97,331. If that happens, Bitcoin may get one more little push up. If it breaks this, comes all the way down to the 200 EMA, which is around 95, which I think is a lot less likely. But if it was to happen, I would be looking for somewhere around this range here. If we take a measured move of this channel, the furthest I see us going down here is actually right about here. And I would definitely think we would at least get a bounce there. I think it would be big support though. And again, guys, this is probably the worst case scenario right now, around 95, 96. If we do bounce back up here, break above there, we're looking at around 101 for the DXY. Now, looking at the weekly chart, we've been talking about this for a long time. We are showing higher highs in the RSI right here, lower highs in the price action, that is hidden bearish divergence on the weekly. Weekly is in a downtrend. Hidden divergence is a continuation of the trend. That's why I do still remain macro bearish here. Now let's take a look at this chart here. This green line is the DXY. We have the trend line across the DXY tops up here, a trend line across the DXY bottoms. Every time the DXY tops, Bitcoin begins its bull market. This one here was in around 2016. That's when the big bull market started to 20,000. And then we bottomed out here where Bitcoin topped. Same over here, March 2020, had a big spike, tagged this, and Bitcoin bottomed, went up. I do believe next time DXY hits here will be a good time to get into Bitcoin, which I believe is going to be sometime around the middle or end of 2023. If you want the bullish scenario, watch every other channel. I'll show you the short-term bullish scenario, but until this stuff is invalidated, I'm still looking at macro bear market, and I'll show you a few other reasons why. Right here. So everybody was all about the 4-year cycle, right? So Bitcoin's on a 4-year cycle, but if it's truly on a 4-year cycle like people believe, but now they're trying to say that it's not on a 4-year cycle, that it's lengthening cycles, because the 4-year cycle doesn't match the narrative that it's going to 100,000 still this year. So as you can see right here was November 2013. It topped out. 4 years later, December 2017, topped out. 4 years later, November 2022, topped out. But according to them, now that it doesn't fit their narrative because we didn't hit 100,000 last year, now the 4-year cycle doesn't matter because it's lengthening cycles. You be the judge. Make your own mind up. Make sure you smash the likes on the channel, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, and leave your comments down below. Do you believe that we're topped out here, or do you believe that we are going to 100K? I'm curious to see what you have to say. Also, we're going to be doing a trading competition with some NFT prizes. Leave the name of some NFTs down there. We're looking to spend about $5,000 on the prizes. There'll be 3 top prizes. I'm going to spend probably around $500 on that. And the winner will get, obviously the NFTs. So we'll have first, second, and third place. So leave your favorite NFT down below. Let me know in that price range what would be a good giveaway. All right, so as you guys know, I think this is just one huge bull market. The stock market was in a bull market this whole time, and Bitcoin still managed to correct 80 to 90% during the traditional bull market. Now, if traditional is going to bear market, it's bad news for Bitcoin. So this is the Amazon chart. We talked about this in yesterday's video. If you missed it, go back and check it out. But we talked about this low here being this low here, and we popped up 46% here, about 47% here, pretty close. If this is topped out here and it plays out like this did over here, it came down about 53%. That would get us down to around the 23 to 24,000 range. Ultimately, I think we get bounces in here. This is going to take, like I said, a year or more to get down to the bottom if we are following this bubble pop pattern, which in this pattern, it was a bunch of euphoria. Everybody was going to get rich quick, and Amazon and all the other .coms were going to do nothing but go up. Now, what happened is when we had this huge bear market, it washed out all the scammy, crappy .com scams. I think we need the same thing in crypto to wash out all the scammy, crappy crypto scams. So over here, this took 10 years before it broke the all-time high again. And after it did get a huge multi-year rally. If that was to happen in Bitcoin, does it have to take 10 years? Doesn't have to. Could it? Very possible. We'll be keeping an eye on it. If you guys are interested in trading, check out Prime XBT. By far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you. You don't get the scam wicks. They don't use their own Bitcoin, so they use brokers. So all they get is a commission. So they rather you win and stick around. All the other exchanges out there that everybody's using use their own. So they win when you lose. They lose when you win. They would rather you lose. So that's why they have to keep people coming in, because they keep draining people's accounts. So just something to think about. Make up your own mind, but you can trade many different altcoins on here. You can also do Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, all from one exchange. And you can have multiple trades in longs and shorts. They don't clump them all together like all the other exchanges. So definitely give them a try. There is a link down below. You can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you 50%. Or I'm sorry, it changed. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus using Savvy50. Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees. Check out my YouTube page, and there is a tutorial there that shows you where to put the promo codes. Also shows you how to adjust your leverage. A lot of people get confused on that. It's actually pretty simple. So anyways, we've been looking at this for a long time. Once we broke here, our target was, again, 23 to 24, just like we talked about over there. I still believe we're heading in that direction. So right now, we're looking at this as a possible triangle. I had said if it broke, we'd be going up to test the 48,000 range, which we did. And I am in a short up here. I do have my stops above here. I may move them up a little more just to get above this trend line, maybe around 48.5-ish. But if I do get stopped out, then I would be going long like I told you guys about. The measured move of the break up, if we break up from here, if looking at this as a rising channel, would be around 60,300. But if we're looking at it as a triangle and we already broke out, I expect a rejection here, come back down to retest the triangle. Now, if we get a nice heavy bounce off this triangle and then break this top trend line again, then I think we're headed to around the 58.3 range. Now, does that match up with any fibs? Let's throw the fibs on there real quick and see what it says. Our golden pocket is between 55 and 56, and 61.5 is the 0.786. Could go up there. I don't think so. I still think we're getting a major rejection here, and it may turn around, although we did get the EMA daily buy signal cross down here, but we've seen that before just to be turned around. But we'll keep an eye on this. Also, you can see it in the RSI. Looks like it has to come back down and retest here before continuing up. If it breaks, closes the daily below this top trend line, Bitcoin is in trouble, in my opinion, at that point, for sure. So as of right now, there's really nothing to do here if you're not already in a trade, unless it does break this 48. I'd say, depending on how long it took, this is a rising. So if it took, another few days, around 48.3, 48.5, somewhere in that range. If we do break above that, then I'll be looking for these higher targets. Until then, still looking for what I had told you. Now, for the downside, if we have topped out here and we break back down through there. The first target is at 23.3 range. Lower to mid 20s. It's not exact, guys. The other target here is looking at this as a big flag pull, this being the flag, being a bear flag, and if that was to break, depending on if, when, and where, could get us down as low as the 6,500, somewhere in that range. That does not mean we go straight down. Remember, guys, I'm saying I believe if we are in the true bear market, that I think the bottom will be in the mid to end of 2023. That is what I'm looking at. If my opinion changes, I'll let you know. Let's look at the 4 hour. So the 4 hour, looking at it in a little bit different. I put the fibs on here. Started from this bottom to this last pump, back down. And this is a 1-to-1 extension on the dot. Which also matched up at the top of the trend line here. So if we've topped out here, like I said, I'd be looking to come back down and test that triangle range, which is around 44.7-ish, depending on when, and where we hit this. And then I would expect a bounce from there. But again, a break of this, we go absolutely bearish, even in the small time frames at that point. Now, could this get one more pump up without reaching the 50? That is another possibility if this is a bull flag here. And if we take a measured move of the bull flag from where it broke here up to the top, and if it was to break out up here, that would give you a target of about 50,700 range. Now, this is in the 4 hour. So if that was to happen, like I said, I would expect to go bullish from there, but let's put a label on there. I would expect a rejection up in this area, come back down to retest this, maybe 48.7 or so, and back up if it's bullish. Otherwise, like I said, here are my targets. First one being coming back down to test this bottom range again around 36 to 37,000. A break of that, most definitely headed that back down to the lower to mid 20s, in my opinion, if that happens. We'll be keeping a close eye on this. Here is Ethereum. We've talked about this for a long time. Ethereum is making the same move pretty much. So if Ethereum breaks this 35.50 range, then the target is around 46.07. But if you look here, we're making some hidden bearish divergence. Also, higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price action. That is hidden bearish divergence. It's not a bullish sign in the long term. This is the daily. So my targets down here, if we break this 2600 range, most likely next target is the target we had of this rising wedge. We've had it forever. That's 1866. And if that breaks, we could also look at this as a bear flag that gets us down to about 680. So if we're in that longer term bear market, could get down as low as the 680. If we're not in that, I still think it's a good possibility we hit this 1866 first. Litecoin, you guys know my opinion on Litecoin. I believe we're headed back down to $20 range, somewhere in there. You can see also lower highs, higher highs, hidden bearish divergence. Does look like it has a little bit room for one more pump up. Maybe go test this 200 EMA around 144. We'll see what happens there. XRP, we've always been talking about breaking this trend line. If it breaks that, then you could get bullish. Until then, I still see us coming back down all the way to these ranges. And if we are in a long term bear market, much, much worse. Make sure you smash likes, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also check out the free Discord down below. There's a lot of different affiliates down there that you get bonuses from, or they're just free. Definitely check them out. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.